Hey guys, I'm Jasmine.
And
we just finished watching season 5, episode 3, aka the best episode in the whole wide world.
I tried to talk about this from the beginning.
Alright, so it's been like an hour since the episode ended. And we have not stopped watching that scene.
I think everybody on Twitter thinks we're dead.
Yeah, like I think that you guys are concerned when really we
just kept watching the ending over and over again.
Over and over again. Like I can't. Literally,
we had to keep pausing it to like figure out like if they were seeing each other and like they're just examining
which
their
they
faces.
were.
They definitely were. Yeah, they were. Oh my god! Like she was on the floor, but like she was watching her and. Okay, so we're gonna talk about the beginning first.
So we have like the entire storyline is just going back and forth continuously the whole episode.
Driving us crazy. Like literally insane.
We have Clark and Maddie who were getting chased from the Alicia's people in the beginning, and then we have Bellamy and all of our space crew who have just arrived on the Alicia's prisoner ship. And so right away, we noticed some parallels. Like, there was a parallel between the one, like, Alicia's guy who had, like, I don't know what it was. It wasn't a spear that he had.
He had, like, he got, like, it was the trap that Clark had set
yeah, I think it was, like, an animal trap or something that she had set. But, yeah, he had that, like, slashed through him. And it was very reminiscent in some ways to Jasper in season 1 when he had the spear through the heart, like, through the stomach or whatever. It reminded me of that. And it was, you could tell right away, though, the difference because you had Zeke who's like, oh, like, maybe we can get, like, a med kit or something. Like, I don't know. Like, they talked about briefly getting a med kit. And they were like, nope. And then they ended up killing him. And that's kind of reminiscent to, it shows the difference of how they're more of, like, violent people. And then you had Clark and them who took Jasper and was like, we have to save him, you know? Like, right away, there's a difference. Like, yes, it's parallel in the way of like, okay, we're the grounders now and these are coming, but there's differences.
Well, it also shows how antagonistic these people are to each other.
They hate each other.
They don't care about each other. And I mean, yeah, they're really nasty people in that sense that, like, you know, yes, like, there are parallels like you just said, but the difference is that these guys are not a family like our guys, like we were united in season 1, like, yeah, there was still, like, obvious.
Yeah, but they weren't trying to kill each other. To that way.
Exactly, not to that
yeah.
Not that intensely.
Yeah.
It wasn't that intense.
These are bad people.
Like, yeah.
There was also some parallel scenes of, like, when they got to the prisoner ship, and it was like, oh, these are prisoners, and it's like, oh, you know, we were prisoners at one point, too, and they sent them to the ground.
Yeah, like, oh, there's hundreds of them.
Yeah, like, there was little moments like that, but I think the best parallel was definitely the one with Clark and like paralleling Lincoln, like that hostage scene. Like once they got Clark and they sat her down and she was not talking, like she was just silent, and it just brought so many moments of Lincoln and how different it was, but at the same time it's like I feel like she kind of learned from Lincoln in that way, like to be quiet, you know, you don't want to give away she didn't want to give away Maddie, like you don't want to
and she wanted to see if they were going to start talking, thinking that she wasn't going to understand
but Charmaine was on to that. She's like, oh, she's tracking our movements. Like, she speaks English. Like, that was... I like Zeke. I do like Zeke. I think that Zeke is going to come to our side eventually. Not right away at all, but I'm thinking more like not right away, but season,
he definitely is, because he, you could just tell that he's different than all the rest of them. He's not as bad as them, and I definitely think he's gonna join the winning side.
I do. Well, yeah, I think that he's gonna definitely. Well, we already know that. I think he's supposed to bond with Raven. I think there was something about that going around, so we'll see if that happens.
We can really tell in this episode that Clark is 100%. She was thinking with her heart. Which,
oh my god,
because
it's so contrasting because she's down on the ground thinking with her heart, and Bellamy's up in space thinking with his head. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I loved the banter that we got between Murphy the whole episode, especially with Raven. I'm so happy that Raven and Murphy are together up in
Murphy's lines were amazing this episode.
Yeah, he had such great lines. Like, I love how he's like, let's be good guys.
I love how he stayed with Raven, and Raven was just like, there's no escape pod. Like, I just told Bellamy that so that he would leave me. But, like, you know what? You're right. I don't want to die alone.
It was really great. Like, son of a bitch. Like, it was so funny.
Great.
But, like, I love that connection. Like, you could tell, like, they have, like, this, like, flirty banter type of thing going. Like, it's really interesting. And oh my god, Amori! I'm so proud of Amori for getting her down.
I really love Amori's character this season. I really do. I'm very pleasantly surprised. I didn't expect to like her as much as I do, and I love that Raven has taught her, and she's able to, like, you know, take action and, like, get everybody down and do that. And yeah, that was awesome.
It was really cool. Like, I really like I do like, obviously, that we get to see more Murphy and Raven, but, like, I do like that they broke up Murphy and Amori, because I feel like we got to establish Amori as a character herself.
Not just as Murphy's girlfriend.
Exactly. Like, it gave her a lot of growth, and yeah, oh my gosh, there was this scene with Monty and Murphy fighting, and he was calling him coward and useless, and we basically find out this episode, well, we kind of found out a little bit in the premiere, but this episode particularly was how Murphy really didn't do much in space, and Amori wanted to, and I think that's where they broke up at some point. Like, they didn't really hint as to why they broke up.
Probably just, like, they
wanted different things. And
I think that, and I mean, when you're, like, stuck in space for 6 years with somebody, like, Murphy just was done with everybody. Exactly.
I really, really appreciated the Monty and Harper were, like, the only couple up in space. Just gonna say that. Like, I just really appreciated
we just
that.
Want to point out how, like, the fact that, like, if you didn't even see episode 1, you wouldn't even know that there's something that's going on with Bellamy and Echo. You wouldn't even know. Because,
and I love that.
Yeah, you can't even tell. Literally no indication in this episode at all.
It's wonderful.
I love it.
I did like the scene, though, where Echo came and she saved Bellamy and Raven. I thought that was a really cool scene. I love that fight scene with Bellamy.
Oh, yeah,
and
it took all 3 of them to get him down.
Cool. Yeah, it took the 3 of them.
Oh my god, all of
that was
the Cairo sleep, guys. That's gonna be the future of our heroes. Like,
yeah, guys, they would not bring Cairo sleep into this
if it wasn't gonna, like, no, I mean, obviously it's playing a part in the sense that, like, we have these prisoners and it's paralleling how, like, you know, they were all prisoners in the beginning, and it's like the leverage, so, like, it does, like,
maybe,
I mean, I still think that it's gonna amount to something at the end. I think that like, bringing it in this early on in the season, it's just foreshadowing that that's what's gonna happen to all of them at the end of the season.
And we're not gonna be okay with that. Yeah. Like, I hope we're wrong, but I don't know if we are. Oh my god, Bellamy and Murphy talking about Clark.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, guys.
His face when Murphy tells him, you know, if Clark was here, this wouldn't even be like a question.
Clark's not here.
And literally, like,
the pain on his face.
That was just like, don't mention Clark to Bellamy, because it like
triggers.
It literally triggered him. You could just see that there's that guilt of leaving her behind, which comes into when he's talking to Raven later on, and he says that he left Clark to die. He can't do that again. Not doing that again.
Oh my god.
He like pauses in the middle of saying that and, like, kind of gets choked up, and oh my god, that scene killed me.
Even though it's been over 6 years, he still hasn't fully, he would never recover from that.
And he can't imagine leaving anybody else behind.
Like, that's it's like PTSD from fire.
It literally, like, killed Bellamy.
Yeah, and I love that you could tell during this episode how much he was thinking about Clark, because he was really thinking, like, with his head, and he did not want to have to kill people again. He's like, we're already talking about killing a bunch of people. Like, this is so bad. And, you know, he doesn't want violence right now. I mean, now it's obviously everything's changed, we're on the ground, but up in space, you know, he had to resort back to that mindset. And it's jarring for him at first, like, initially. He just remembers Clark, and he was thinking about her. And then he says again to Murphy, he's like, Clark didn't die for us. Like, he gives that line, and that's kind of, like, shows that he was really thinking about Clark. Like, he was listening to what Murphy had said when he said, Clark wouldn't let this happen.
Bellamy's been living, like, pretty much for Clark, like, in her memory to, like,
it was really obvious in this episode,
for sure,
when he had to make these decisions and everything, and oh my god, it was driving us crazy, the back and forth of, like, they're hearing them on the radio, who are they looking for? They're looking for these girls on the radio, they're following people, and like Bellamy's like Octavia. Oh my god, it was so frustrating. And then he sees Charmaine, and he sees them like before, like, in, like, a video. I thought that was really interesting, because he gets, he knows these people. He's, like, going through them. He's like, okay, these are all murderers. Like, he was able to get some of their backstory. And, we got a little bit of, about Bellamy's backstory, that his grandfather has 4 PhDs.
He's so smart though, Bellamy. Like the fact that he like was able to like save Clark and like use the people as leverage and like using his head and being a leader, and
he used his head and his heart today.
He really did. He had to use his head and his heart to save.
All right, so now this brings us to when. Now this brings us to when Bellamy comes down to earth, right? Maddie's waiting for him.
His face is...
He's so taken aback.
He's literally in shock. Bellamy is in shock.
He doesn't even move. Like, he's just like...
He's like frozen in shock.
Clark's alive. Ugh. And then he goes, she's in trouble. And then he kind of snaps out of it about the bunker thing. Like, that's kind of something that he can understand and question. He hasn't really wrapped his mind around Clark being alive yet. Like, it hasn't really hit him. And...
Maddie taking Bellamy by the hand and dragging him off,
much.
And
Maddie.
it's just the two of them, like, bless.
Yes,
like,
Maddie, that was great.
What? Like, I never, like, could have, like, I mean, we had said that in our prediction video.
Yeah,
like,
no,
we're like, oh, Maddie's just gonna leave them there, and, like, they're just gonna run off her and Bellamy.
And then we were like...
But, like, then we kind of thought about it. We're like, that's so unrealistic. That's not gonna happen. That's like fan fiction. Like,
no,
just leave everybody else there.
Literally was like, Dad, Mom's in trouble, we gotta go. Like,
yeah,
it was...
Literally.
It was amazing. Like, I'm so happy with this episode, honestly. Like,
he says to her, before he gets out of the rover, he says to Maddie, take the rover back. I won't let anything happen to Clark, I promise.
No, but Maddie has like a gun. Like, she's ready to go and help Bellamy, like, go get Clark. And Bellamy's like, no, like, you're like, he said she's a kid. He parents her. He's like, no, take the rover back. Like, I'm not gonna let anything happen to Clark. And I just think that's so great because, like, he takes charge. And guys, he sees her. We were like,
oh my
he
gosh.
actually sees her when the rover pulls up.
Maddie in the rover, he's like, Clark is right. You could see her out the window, like, of the rover. She's literally laying there, crying, like she's in pain, just got electrocuted, and oh my god, Bellamy comes out of the rover. He looks like an angel. The lights are like shining in his hair.
So
like her guardian angel came to save her. And oh jeez, her face was so perfect when she sees his silhouette and then hears him. She is just so like relieved and like, I don't even know what her face, like, I can't even describe her face. It was just so
emotional. At first she thinks it's Maddie, and then once she notices Bellamy, it just changes. Like, you could see the recognition on her face when she hears him.
His voice for the first time after talking to him on the radio for 6 years and not hearing his voice. She probably forgot what his voice sounded like.
And so then she hears him and she just is overcome with these emotions of like happiness, relief and just oh. Bellamy can't stop looking at her. He keeps looking at her and
forward, and then Charmaine's like, that's far enough.
Yes, like he tries to go to her. He sees her on the ground.
He's like walking closer, and yeah. And guys, for the fact that like Charmaine had said she's like, because Bellamy is willing to like bet all of, like, willing to bargain all of these people for one person. And Charmaine knows that that means this girl like means the world to Bellamy. That's the whole like love is weakness thing again. That is the whole love is weakness. Yeah, like, because he literally gave his weakness out to the enemy. People, yeah, which is enemies, which I think is definitely him using his heart at the end, which he needed to do to save her. He needed both his head and his heart. I think that's gonna come back to bite him in the ass at some point this season. I really do. It's gonna be worth it to him. But it's gonna be so worth it, and I can't handle this. He held up a mug that's his best dad in the universe. Like, okay, I know, like, obviously, like, it's because that was like, for like that was like part of the leverage, but no, it was just really funny. Because it's literally like he's the best dad, he's saving Mom for Matt. Like, it was just like really funny. I just can't get over the way they looked at each other in that scene. Like, he was wanting to go to her, and then he kind of snaps back into it. He's like, he knows he needs to focus in on this, you know? And then once he's like, she is, he looks at her when he says she is, like, no hesitation. No hesitation, like, says it. After 6 years, like, she is. Like, she's the most important thing to him. Like, she's so important to Bellamy. She really is. It's confirmed. Like, I can't handle this. She is. And Jason comes out with an interview. Apparently they're gonna be they're hugging next episode. Like,
So we get like multiple reunions, guys. What other ship ends in a cliffhanger for a reunion?
I feel like I've been dying about this episode that I'm not even processing that Blark is gonna hug next episode and they're gonna be in the same room, and Jason said it's like it's like by themselves.
I'm sorry that this review is not as
review is so bad. I'm so sorry.
Like, I feel like this review
is trying to talk like intellectually,
but like I can't think of anything other than that last scene.
This is like such a bad review.
I'm so sorry. We're gonna be going live to we'll do like a better review because we'll have a couple days to like recuperate. And
are you kidding me? We're gonna die with.
Oh my god, I know. I'm so excited. That scene was the best thing ever. It was, and I'm just gonna like please project that on my grave. I can't.
And she heard that. That is what makes it like all the better. Is that she heard Bellamy say that. She heard Bellamy say that she is important to him. And next week is when we really die though. Because next week they are going to be talking to each other face to face, and they're going to talk.
Love to know how you're handling this, because
it's probably better than how we are handling this.
Because I just can't stop like seeing it in my head. I just like the way that he says she is and looks at her. Like he literally looks at her and says she is because she's so important to him. He knows what it's like to lose her, and he's not gonna lose her again.
Like he literally just like goes with Maddie. Like no, like he doesn't like try to be like, no, like explain to me who you are. Like he literally just like, that's it. Clark's in trouble. I gotta go.
Yeah. So let's talk about this down in the comments below. Again, I apologize for the mess of
this review.
But
and please come hang out with us this weekend with LM Reactions on our channel, and we're gonna just cry with them together. And
it's gonna be a really fun time.
It's gonna be so much fun.
We're gonna go through all the amazingness of this episode because it's
keep an eye on our Twitter for the exact date and time.
Yeah.
Last weekend we did it on Friday. Week before we did it Saturday, so it's gonna be either one of those days.
Either one of those days.
Yeah.
And for us around Eastern, it'll be about 4 or 5 o'clock our time, and then for them it's more of like 9, 10 o'clock ish, like more like at night.
Yeah. The West Coast, it'll be more like 1.
Yeah, like afternoon-ish.
Yeah,
like,
probably like
something like that.
But once again, sorry for this messy review, but thank you so much for watching.
Yes, you can also, and make sure you follow us on our Twitter and our Snapchat, where we will talk to you guys about the 100, and where we'll let you know for sure when we're about to go live this weekend to talk about the episodes, so you can hang out with us.
Yes.
We're at City of the Fields.
Thank you for watching.
Thank you for watching.
Bye.
Bye. Bob, I love you so much, and I'm so proud of you, and I'm so happy that we get a season 6, guys.
Yes, guys, season 6. We're gonna love his fandom so much. Thank you so much for